more tolerance you have for errors. The thicker the filament, the more tolerance for errors. Because if you're off a given diameter for a larger filament, the percentage that you're off is less. If you have a tiny filament, a tiny error will be a higher percentage of error. So that means when you're printing, what are the considerations there? If you have a structure that's got infill, a partial infill like 50% or 20%, if your filament is varying widely, that means the interior structure of the thing you're printing and some exterior features will not be even. But will it matter if it's a piece of 2x4? I don't think so. If the infill is by mistake not 20% but 20 to 40% because your filament was fatter in other places, like twice, you spit out twice as much the volume. It doesn't matter if you have partial infill. That means your wood is just going to be stronger by accident, So you can play around a lot with that for bulk brute force printing. That's the idea there. If you're using larger filaments, the more tolerant you are for errors. That is good. The other thing about that is that when you have a large nozzle, you can put more dirt in there and never clog. And using our very simple design, and I will share about our design, I believe that by a certain metric, our extruder is better than anything in the world. So the humble extruder that we use, it's extremely simple, but the distance between the drive point and the nozzle tip is the shortest in the industry. Nobody makes it any shorter. What does that mean? That means you have the least path between the point of extrusion, means the least error prone to clogging. So we're very, very clog free, and that is awesome. So if we thicken that up, this just means sizing up some of the components. Easily doable. We've just never done it. That would be a bunch of prototyping, right? With the existing extruder, we're doing 3mm, and that works well. So, but this brings up other questions like, what are the actual blocks to why this is not happening? Is it a matter of simply larger printers and heated build chambers? Is that, let's get the clarity, are we solving for that?
Well, at least a little bit that I know about the heated build chamber situation was that a lot of companies weren't making them in the last couple of years due to patent issues. Like, was Stratasys or some company like that was holding patents on the heated build chambers?
Okay. No.
Not right?
No, that is correct, but I'm just saying, no problem. Yeah. The design that we have is, I don't even think is patentable. I saw the patent. The patent is on the bellows thing I mentioned. So we're doing it simpler, and we're patent free. That's the beauty here.
Nice.
Now that's a little bit of, to me, this is absolutely obvious, and once again I'm saying I don't know why nobody does it. I think the reason why nobody does it is that nobody can scale their printer systems effectively. We can. And that's why for me I'm saying, piece of cake. Scalable modular. So I think we've got something right there. It's super simple. It's like, it's no-brainer. But somebody who doesn't subscribe to the universal axis or who doesn't design in a modular way, which is everybody, it's a problem. So this is where I think our methods shine. Our methods shine at a very large scale because we're scalable. That's like, for example, with a tractor, we can make a $250,000 tractor for probably like $25,000 in parts, whereas for a small tractor, it will cost us like maybe $5K for a tractor that's equivalent maybe like $20K. Maybe there's like a 4 or 5 factor, whereas at the larger scale, it's 10 and better. So the larger we go, the more advantage we get, and that's probably why that hasn't happened. But if we assume that that's a tractable problem, if that's a solvable problem, what else is in the way of succeeding here? That's the kind of clarity. When we go to this contest, I think that part of the messaging is this: we have identified very clearly the problem that we're solving